Good morning. Today we're going to put up this pergola. My son and I have just put up the post that I thought maybe I should do a little quick video before we go any further. So this is a spot. This used to be a rose bush right here, but I took it out and it's big, like a big hole that came down. But anyhow, we're going to put pavers down below on this. And one of the things that we did is the pavers are 2 3/8 inch, something like real close to that. And they recommend going down 7 inches, so we literally had to take a lot out of this. This was actually quite a bit higher, and it came down into like a little hole down here. So there's a lot of dirt removal. And then we put in roughly about 4 inches of gravel. It's a little bit more than that. I'd say about 5, because we dug a little bit deeper, but I didn't want to take it out because we had pipes and stuff I had to clean up. One of the things you can see on this as we did it is I have a drain here. And I don't want the water, even though it's not that much, I don't want the water to come here and I don't want any water coming on here unless it's just naturally, so no flow coming on here. So I put the drain pipe underneath this form. And then also on this bottom corner, I have another drain that's actually the drain for the rock itself. So any water that penetrates through the top of this, the pavers, should go through it and it will drain out. We actually tested it because we had a big rain and literally just rained right off. But as we do this, we put about 1 inch of rock and you just beat the shit out of it with this and go all over it. And we've been pretty successful with that, or my son has. Anyhow, and the reason I put in a footing here is just simply for the fact that I kind of want this thing to last the rest of my life. And if I didn't put in a footing, eventually the edges of the gravel would, you know how everything starts to erode, it would break off, and then the edges of my pavers would eventually kind of crumble out. Unless I actually brought that gravel out to about here, and I really didn't want to do that because I want flowers and stuff in here. So I thought, well, I'll put in some cement. It'll block it from doing its thing. I can still have the flowers and do everything I want to do. It's a little better, I think, a little professional. I might cap it with brick when I'm done, we'll see. But a lot of fun. The other thing I did is over on this side over here, I put in a little pipe that runs underneath all this. I just got a little cap on it. I'll trim that down later. But that's so that I can run drip system or electrical wires up here so I can light this thing up if I want to later. I'm not planning on it, but might. So as for the wood itself, I spent about $700 for the wood. And I went online and was just looking at kits just to kind of compare the savings, and you could spend $1,500 to $3,500 for a kit just for the wood. But I just built it myself. I figured I'd save a lot of money in doing that, so $700, one full weekend is what it took to put it together. If you look at the top of the post, one of the things I like to do is I put a notch for my headers. The reason I did that was because a lot of times what people do is they'll just put both the headers here, and then they'll use like one of these bolts that goes through, and then they just squeeze the headers together, and that would kind of hold the whole thing. And then you can get away with it with one of these pergolas, but you might as well do it right, and it'll last forever. That way the header is going to come down on this, and the weight of the header is going to come on. The weight of this whole thing is actually going to come on the post, which is the right way to do it. And all this is going to do is keep it from going sideways. The other thing is everything I'm using is stainless steel because it's outside. So I want to build it right. But today's going to be fun because last week we did a lot of work on building the structure. The week before that we did this footing. But today we're going to put this thing together, and by the end of the day it should be up, so it's going to kind of look cool. Next week we'll put in the pavers, but I'll do another quick posting at the end of the day just so you can kind of see where it's coming along. But we'll talk to you at the end of the day.